Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Well, fuck me sideways. Hold the line! Hold the line! Hold the line! You shall not pass!
Oh no, you did not shoot that green shit at me!
I have you now.
Watch the birdie!
Must go faster.
Inconceivable!
Say hello to my little friend!
Come out, wherever you are.
Peekaboo!
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
It's over, Anakin! I'm at the high ground! Don't try it! Armor piercing, loading!
Special delivery!
Target to...
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Gotcha, bitch!
Something is right. How's everybody going? You know what time it is. I know what time it is. That's right. It's time for Syntax Live, and hopefully I actually got everything working tonight because everything's been all janky as all shit today. As you can see, I'm kind of still trying to get this stupid freaking thing to work. And for some reason, it doesn't want to work all that well. Well, anyways, I see a whole bunch of folks and hold on. What? I just had this button lined up. What the hell is it? Oh, yeah.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Sorry, I hit the wrong goddamn button. I'm sorry because somebody says he can fix her.
Oh wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Yep, that's Deathbed Question with a $5 super chat as he says, tip jar. Howdy, y'all. How's it all doing? I hope everybody is doing really, really well. I am, well, a little behind at this point. Seriously, because I haven't been worked out much. My ass is little. Anyways, we also have a $10 super chat from the big man on the bike. It is Brian Kevin. And let me write this down. Oh. I'm an idiot. I put that in the wrong spot. Ha ha. All right. And he says, enjoyed the stories. Well, I'm glad you did, Brian. Then thanks for being here. And as this thing keeps flipping through, we got another $10 super chat from the MTF guard. He says, my dumbass almost sent $50 instead of 10. Hey, I wouldn't be complaining. And yeah, that button before. Yeah, hold on.
It's a trap.
Yeah, be careful of that. But hey, happy Wednesday. And oh boy, I spent a whole lot of videos this time and around to make up for the drought we've had with my vids lately. And yes, I believe it was 8 or 9 vids on you. And let me write this down real MTF guard. Making sure you get your shout outs, because I don't want to leave you guys without your shout outs. And you got guard with hold on.
For the Emperor!
You had to get it. You had to get it. All right, and we also have Douglas Scarborough says, good news and bad news on my MRI. Oh, balls, man. Yikes. Yeah, shit. I don't know. We'll probably be going through that here, man. It's this, yeah. All right, guys, as we knocked off the super chats real quick. Hold on, let me make sure I got everybody. And someone coming in. She is, and it's Erica. Erica, you were still up a week. You know that, right? And so was Brian. So very much appreciated you guys very much. And she says, hello, less than halfway done with the next chapter. Did you get my email? How have you been? I did get the email. Unfortunately, I got it behind schedule. That's on me. I couldn't get it another video out on this channel before I started the other one. And we're going to be talking about that later. How have I been? Well, 3 days of lifting heavy shit, moving my brother. So yeah, that's how I'm doing when my shoulder hasn't healed up yet. So yeah, it's been all sorts of fun, hasn't it? Thanks guys for actually coming in today and for the super chats. Now, first things first, again, I did the intro, and now we need to all get some. That's right. The latest part fell today at 5:30, 1 hour ago. It's only unfortunately about 37 minutes, if I remember correctly. It's only about that long. So, yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Those of you who haven't done it yet, don't worry. We're not going to be going over that chapter today. I just want to get that one out before the stream, just because, guys, I've been trying. I swear to God, I've been trying to get those out, but with the new channel and everything and my brother moving, you guys know how it is. It's so bad, I got to have a drink from my apple juice. Okay. That one kind of got stuck about halfway down. But yeah, we got a new one tonight, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. As you guys know, it's basically 2 stories in one going on. So if you remember the last one, you know where this one should be going. All right. So it's like a pendulum back and forth. Now, on that same note, this is where I need you guys' help, because there's been a lot of, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but a few comments talking about either they prefer the warfare portion or they prefer the personal portion with Joseph. Which one do you guys prefer more of? And I'm sure somebody's already typing in, well, both work. I would like to focus a little more into what everybody's enjoying so I can adjust fire and, make things better for you guys. That's the point of the live stream, guys. That's the absolute point of the live stream. So on that same one, let's see. We got our wonderful Corman, or hold on, I should say, where is it? Corman! Who usually isn't listening yet. He usually catches us later. And he was talking about how the fact that I made him laugh. Guys, what he sent in last week hasn't come out yet. However, it's being hinted at in this chapter. I can't go in anymore, but I guarantee if he's listening to this, he's probably, I know where you're going, you sneaky fucker. I know where you're going with this. And yeah. And it's just something to look forward to. All right. On the part 7 there, how it was talking about enhanced humans. Now, this is actually something that even comic books touched on, just like Captain America, the Hulk, anybody who is an enhanced human. And hold on, let me get this off the screen for a second. When it comes to anyone who's enhanced, all right, it's very important that you understand that they're going to be able to recover from the effects of their type of apple juice extremely fast. Even the god-awful show The Flash basically had him do like 6 shots of like ultra purified Everclear just to have him drunk for about 6 seconds. Okay, it's just that's what the enhancements are going to do. Again, it's been done in all different media and stuff like that. Oh, shoot. Sometimes I hate this thing. It didn't actually scroll down. We have somebody who I should...
All hands to battle stations.
That's right. It's Skip. And he says, question. I believe everyone has heard of solar winds and solar storms. I'm going to assume so. So why doesn't any monitoring them in their stories? Storms and weather are big issues for ships at sea. That's a good one. You know what? The only time I ever truly touched on that was when I did From the Dead Zone, or They Came from the Dead Zone, where it mentions all sorts of gravitational issues and things like that. Made everybody not want to travel. And the fact that we come out of that is like, how the fuck did you guys do that without dying? And then basically, who says we weren't dying? So, yeah, you are right. I'm actually writing it down. Solar storms and solar winds. That's a really good one, Skip. You're right. The only time they talk about solar winds is if they bring in a certain ship that actually operates on the solar winds. Like that god-awful one in Trekkie Trek where everything in space was run by gears and levers and dials. And so I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? That would work on a planet, but out in space, that's... what? Just what? All right. Thank you again, Skip. Very much appreciate on that. Good question. All right, back to get some. Somebody mentioned in the comment section how we don't get hyped much. I know I can't do it from here. It just doesn't work. So yeah. Also, another one that you guys brought up that I'm surprised I didn't think about this. About on Get Some, Jacob. Now, you said he's a bug in a jar, and everyone's just kind of staring. I didn't think of it that way. Yes, you guys come up with some of the most awesome stuff, and I can't thank you enough for that, because I would have never thought of that. So, yeah, that's a pretty good one. Now, somebody asked if there was maybe a Princess Bride reference in part 7. All I can say is that sound. Do I have the button here? No. God damn it, I took it off. I need a bigger stream deck. I would say that is inconceivable. But yes, there was a Princess Bride reference if you guys got it. Still one of the greatest movies ever to be put on film. All right. And I actually have to flip up my glass a little bit because I had to take the actual light out of the socket to put this green screen in place. If not, you guys would be looking at just a white wall behind me. All right. The question was, did they actually feed him Mary Jane, do you wanna? And for a time, I was going to actually have the two females in there, one named Mary and the other named Jane. And it was something that they called Juana. Mary Jane Juana. A little too much, you know. But yes, they basically gave him a much stronger plant than that. But I don't know if you guys have ever been. I know a few of you guys, being military folks, you know, you've truly been hungry. As in, you haven't eaten anything in a week, 2 weeks. I've gone over 3 weeks without food, and I'll tell you what, you will start chewing on your arm. It is just so so freak. I mean, it's just terrible. If you're so thirsty, you're actually licking the sweat off your arm too. That's yeah. When you do that, it's just terrible. All right. Sorry, guys. I just had to mix a little bit of soda pop in with my orange juice. Still going to be strong. All right. That actually ends my notes for this week, guys. And that's my fault. That is straight up my fault, simply because I didn't get enough out to you guys. Again, I've been excessively busy for 3 days. I'm lucky I got anything done because it actually is amazing me how much work the other channel is putting in. So on that note, let's take a short little video break. And why did I keep all these fucking videos up? I don't know. I don't even know where I was last here. Somewhere around here. Shit. You know, I'm going to have to start here. And if it seems like we duplicated one, I'll just watch another.
There's a Call of Duty game about World War II. And no, I don't mean Call of Duty Finest Hour, Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 2 Big Red.
We know that one. Sorry. How about All right, as I was going through those, guys, I actually see where I started on these videos. Usually I go in and delete a bunch of them, and I didn't because I was falling a little bit behind on the timetable. So on that note, I want to go over a few things. One, quick question for everybody. Did you enjoy the 12 seconds or 7 seconds or whatever it's supposed to be of no gravity on this planet today? Me neither. If you watch the Y-Files, you know what I'm talking about. Somebody somewhere put that on paper and everybody started saying it's gospel. I'm like, look, you go 7 seconds without gravity on this planet and you're going to have a lot more problems than people realize. All right. As long as the thing is, say, like, I'm sitting here now, my heavy behind is pushing down on this cushion, which means if there's no gravity, just the force of that cushion expanding would push me up. Would it be enough to send me to the ceiling? Absolutely not. Not one bit. But would it be enough where my legs would end up touching the bottom of this desk? Maybe for about a second before gravity came back. So everybody was freaking out over absolutely nothing. And you know what? Yeah, no, so many things are there for a scare tactic. It's not worth it anymore. I mean, it makes me wonder, you know, somebody's next going to say, oh, better watch out. You're suddenly going to wake up in an Otomi game because I saw that on YouTube. And yes, Erica, I had some freaky ones last night when I finally got to sleep. I mean, seriously, what the fuck over? But we'll go into the strange dreams later. All right. Since that was that one, I'm going to go in and throw this one up.
All or nothing.
That's right. Somebody's been playing Armored Core. I mean, I like Armored Core as a game, but you got everybody. How do I put this? When Razorfist did a review of MechWarrior Online, he called it a, as he quotes, Twitch shooter. No, what we just watched is considered a Twitch shooter. Okay, it's extremely fast, and to the point where if you're really quick on the buttons and the trigger like you guys are. I can't do that. I was just like, what the fuck? Then you can be from here to there to there to there to there, all shooting at the same time. That's what a Twitch shooter is. Nothing wrong with that. I know plenty of people. I mean, dude, that with the Armored Core, I can't do that. I honestly cannot do that. It's not in me. You get me behind a mech and I will actually be calling fire commands and everything else. You know, Roger, engaging, target, target destroyed, blah, 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 and all this other fun stuff. So anyway, on to the next subject here. As you guys know, Halo is going to be suffering major layoffs. Okay, they fucked up so bad. You guys know, I know, we all know that Halo, it's dead. People that got in there, they killed it. Okay, there was actually some guy there. I wish I knew what his channel was called. He did such a good job just lambasting them, and he was not using church language. I'll tell you that much. Oh boy, this stream would get demonetized like that if I used half the language he did. But what he did do is actually show how things had gotten so fucked up that it's not recoverable anymore. The only way they could have recovered at this point, and this is actually a fix they could do. Okay, no joke. The Halo, tell me, you know, especially you guys that played Halo, this is all they have to do. You have the Chief went into cryo sleep at the end of, I believe it was Halo 3. Wake him back up and pretend that everything that happened between Halo 4 and now was a fucking dream he had in cryo sleep. A weird, fucked up dream. Like a lot of us have been having the past couple of days. Okay? Yeah. That's all you have to do. You retcon the living dog piss out of everything. And here's the fun part. You can actually have Cortana going through rampancy. And all you have to do is more or less the same thing where you're trying to find a way to save her and everything's going to shit no matter what happens. And eventually you do find a Forerunner AI. You go and fight it just like the freaking Didact and all that other bullshit where she breaks herself apart, because that actually happened in the books. She all her pieces started talking. Then we broke apart one of ourselves to talk to you directly. That fucking happened, and it worked. And because she kept breaking herself apart more and more, she wasn't copying herself. She was actually separating apart. Just like here, you take my finger and poof, that's one piece. Okay, not the whole hand. I'm not duplicating the hands. Okay, it's not jazz hands here. And that's all you got to do is say, okay, she broke herself apart, and then she scattered across the actual Halo version of the internet. Okay, now she's scattered. Now she doesn't know how to put herself back together like fucking Humpty Dumpty, and you got to go and collect the parts that did not find each other. And you got to put Cortana back together again. And because she was part of the whatever circuit that there was, she is better than she was before. And because she's part of that circuit, because she's part of that system, one of the last ones you have is you walk up and she's actually putting herself a biosynthetic body together. And if you really want to be funky, you look on the other side and you notice she's building Chief a new body. Like she's going to actually put him into a new body back to his like 20-year-old self. Because the Chief is like older than me. That's all you have to do. And eventually you can actually end it with them pretty much being done, where she walks in, she gets the award and everything. Everyone's cheering. And now you see Chief. But again, he's still in his uniform or in his Mjolnir, because no Spartan likes to be out of that thing. So yeah, so many different ways you can actually save it, but unfortunately, or I should say, but there's no way of saving it. I'm sorry. So anyway, and yes, that one was for Erica on that last BUT. All right. Sorry, rambled on that one because I miss Halo and I miss LAN parties. Okay. Here's a fun one. Not only Knight's Path, which is another game, and something called Sword and Slippers has got the wokey wokes going, real, no, you're not supposed to like this. You're not supposed to like this. Why? Because it has attractive people in it. And they don't look like they should be, I don't know, where you can't tell if they're male or female. No, it's pretty clear if they're male or female. Okay, that's just the way it goes. So, anyways. Yeah, Alan, we're going to be going over that. Trust me, we'll be going over that. I think it's the end of January. Anyways. Yeah, all I can say is let the wokies freak out. They don't buy video games anyway. Fuck them. Let's see. BioWare. Even non-video game players like me know BioWare. BioWare used to be the shit. They made a big name for themselves, and now they're on the chopping block. They might actually be dissolved as an entire company. I know. An entire company gone. It's terrible. But that's the price of doing business. It is what it is. So anyway, before I jump on to the next thing I'm doing, where was I? Right here. Well, you pulled that one out of your butt. All right. The last thing I'm going to be talking about before we break into the new channel is there is a movie coming out. I just saw the preview, and some people are going to hate me because I say I want to watch this. I did not see the first one. I wanted to. I thought it would come out on YouTube or something like that where I could actually just pay to watch it, but I'm not buying an entire fucking subscription to watch one movie. Pure and simple, I'd rather just get it from a Blockbuster, which is what they were good at, is the movie Run, Fight, and Hide, Run, Hide, Fight, which is your three options in a situation where someone wants to hurt you. And now they got another one coming out, and it looks really good. It does. And there's some wokey wokes saying, oh, no, it's going to destroy this guy's career. He's just making a comeback. You know what I say? Blow me. I actually want to see it. I'm paying money to go see it. Okay, when I go do my monthly stuff, if it's playing, I'm going to see it. But you know what? It doesn't come out till September. So it is what it is. All right. Now, you know what? We'll do one more right before I get into... All right, guys. I'm actually trying to take something here. Nope, I don't want that. I'm trying to set something up because of the new okay, come on, you bastard. Okay. The new channel that's dropped, okay, is Sin Tactics. You know, where war is syntastic. I just had to, that just came out, guys. The reason for Sin Tactics is because I tried to use Sin Sims, and unfortunately, try saying that actually fast, for one, is difficult to do. And two, well, unfortunately, Sims, once again, is more or less copyrighted. Okay. And it didn't fit. It was tied with first place with this, so I had to be the tie vote. And this is what I meant, Erica, is I wanted to get one of my videos out and do what you were talking about to see who wanted what. I didn't have enough I just had to make a call. So going into the chat box is the very first episode. You guys can link that up if you wouldn't mind. Now, fair warning, these videos came out a hell of a lot longer than I originally anticipated. Because you guys wanted story mode, it took a lot longer to set things up, along with the story mode videos and cuts and everything like that. So fair warning, these are, again, fairly long. If you want to straight down into the action, by all means, fast forward through it. But it is what it is. Okay. I appreciate that, Douglas. I appreciate it very, very much. If you guys even subscribe, it's going to help. Now, it's also on the, if you guys don't get it in the chat box, down in the Meat Gazer box there, they got, or I got it there too. So, just in case you guys didn't get it. Now, as far as syntactics go, I'm just working my way through it. Okay, you guys said that I could take my time on getting, how do I put this? I asked you guys if you wanted me to rush to the missions to get the story mode over and done with. You said, nope, take your time. So that's what I'm doing. I am currently harvesting, but right now I'm having a lot. Thank you, Chris. I'm having a lot of problems right now with the editing software. I was more than halfway done editing tomorrow's video, and the whole thing just died. Like the entire video just deleted out of there. Thankfully, I do have the original video. So, even though this one, the syntactics, is only going to be coming out Monday through Friday, that's it. I can't do anything else. If I miss a day during the week, I miss a day during the week. And that's probably what's going to happen tomorrow. Thank you, Leonid. Same thing, Joseph. So, like I said, if you guys want to, thanks, Guardian. If you guys want to actually go through and add your 2 cents, again, whatever you guys want me to do, I'm going to do it. However, I will say this, certain mechs I'm going to be going for. I know some people have their favorites. No, I'm not outfitting everybody with a fucking urban mech, okay? That is not going to happen. That walking trash can might be good on MechWarrior Online, but on the actual BattleTech game, it quite literally is a walking trash can. It is what it is. I've already actually in there, because what I did is I uploaded every single extension to the original that I could find. It actually comes in one big folder. I kind of fucked up saving it at first, but I fixed it. However, because of that, I'm getting more, how do I put this? You know what? I can't, hold on. I need a drink. Sorry, guys. Sorry, where was I? Okay, doesn't matter. And I know, Douglas, a lot of people like the Marauder. Now, I will say I change a lot when it comes to the mechs because of the way I play. Okay, pure and simple, just because of the way I play. However, like you guys said, you wanted the salvage instead of money, so everything is max salvage. I do not go for any additions when it comes to cash at all. So, thank you, Alan. Yeah, that's making things a little difficult, guys, especially this early in the game, because I can't buy the mechs I want. Like early in the game, if I can get an archer, guys, if I can, it's just golden, because you can strap on 2 LRM-20s and any medium or light is just going to be fucking wrecked at that point. Just tore up from the floor up, just destroyed. And any heavy is all they need is a second volley, and they're in some severe pain. I will give a slight spoiler. I had a chance today when I was filming to get a stalker, and I fucked it up so bad because for some reason my pilots can't shoot for shoot. And yeah, Douglas, yeah, the Gauss rifle, yeah. I think it's the R has the Gauss on top. Yeah, and if you guys don't know what a Gauss rifle is, it's an upgraded railgun. Hits like a fucking Mack truck. Thank you, Skip. So yeah, there's that. But for right now, I'm currently stuck with mediums. I mean, they're okay. I mean, I had some lights to start with. You guys will see it. But what I'm trying to do is get up to what I call harvesting mechs. Okay, with a harvesting loadout. You're going to see that as we go. That's part of the tactics. If I was going for strictly money, then yeah, I would have completely different mechs and completely different loadouts. Okay, I would just be trying to core everything I see and say, show me the money. Speaking of which, I'm trying to get, forget trying. I got some, they just need to be sorted. New sound bites, and one of them is show me the money. So yeah. So every time I get like 1 million C-bills on that, we're going to show some money. All right. Where was I? Oh, by the way, you're going to see this probably at the beginning each one when I do the intro, just because it fits so well. But we're still going to be staying on the tactics portion on that. I will say this. The mechs that I will be going for as far as medium mechs, okay? Me likey the blackjack. A lot of people hate the blackjack, but if you use it correctly, it can be one hell of a harvesting mech. Okay. As far as other harvesters in the medium range, there's not that many. Most everything as far as the short range weapons are going to be either flamers, or once I get to a certain level, I'll get machine guns. Okay, some of them still have the small laser just because I didn't have room for anything else. And you guys will see that. Thanks, Brian. And you guys will see how that plays into it. Okay, because when you're playing BattleTech, one of the key things you're going to be working for is you want to be able to cook the son of a bitch and shut his ass down, because then you can get a precise shot, as in you get to call the shot. And if you can call the shot on the head, and especially with a LBX or something, which is basically grape shot coming out, or shotgun, if you want to be more general, then you're going to get more headshots. You get enough headshots, then you kill the meat to save the metal. Let's see. As far as heavies, there's several in there that I personally like. Now, I know a lot of people hate it, but I'm a big fan of the Jaeger. At least in MechWarrior Online, I almost always pilot a Jaeger. If you don't know, that's a anti-air mech with the weapons up high. I want up high so I can hide most of the mech and not get shot. But I can put down, if you stagger them, instead of pressing both guns to go off simultaneously, if you stagger them where you go bub up fire, but you have AC 2s and 5s, you're going to get the first bub up, and then it's just going to scramble them in different rates of fire. It drives the other side crazy. Absolutely crazy. And before long, they're a little crazier than usual. However, I don't want to get too much into it, just because you guys who actually wanted this, want to sit down and watch it, by all means, let me know. Put in the comments. Let me know if it works. Let me know. I had one of the episodes, I had a big problem with the sound. I'm still working in the OBS. I should be able to get it. And Joseph's up here saying a blackjack flamer setup is a great capture mech. It can be, yeah. The problem is you got to get close, and the blackjack is not known for its movement. It's definitely not known for any type of melee combat, which is why out of all the assault mechs, me personally, okay, it's very difficult to beat a Highlander, especially a 2 Bravo Highlander, because that has the Gauss rifle and it's got the LRM. It's bracketed for every range. Basically, if you're as far out as possible, this thing can still reach out and touch you. However, or I should say, but at the closer you get, the more dangerous they are. And now that I've got all the different games crushed into one, I'm going to be able to get the better weapons and things like that. And Douglas, I don't think racks are in this game. They are on MechWarrior Online. If you don't know what that is, rotary autocannon, multi-barrel like a Vulcan, like the 3 barrels that they have underneath the Apache helicopter. All right. The only one that can actually stand toe-to-toe with a Highlander is an Atlas II. An Atlas II is a nasty fucking mech. I mean, seriously, it is just so hard to kill that goddamn thing. Just so hard to kill it. And I'm actually going to go up here too, right around. Let's see. I'll start here with Guardian. Okay. He says, you know what? Hold on. Shit. I forgot. We changed topics, so we need another video. Here's a short, funny.
Say goodbye to your kneecaps, chucklehead.
Pain looks good on other people, don't it? All right. Guardian says, you snuck your latest video under the wire. Very sneaky. And yeah, in one of my videos, I actually got that soundbite. I think you underestimate the sneakiness. That, I swear, I don't know who the fuck that actor is, but every once in a while, he just nails a line so good that it makes a shit movie worth watching. Here's another one. Tell Megatron, let's tango. Yes. Just yes. Okay? Just like on the how do I put this? If I extend the Transformers series one I did, which I would like to, then yes, I will be using that line. There's also another one. Guys, it's like chewing on freaking steel wool. I want to tell you the line I'm going to use, but I want it to be a surprise. And I guarantee you guys are going to laugh so hard you're going to shit yourself. All right, Alan says, put a star next to the ones you have used on the videos. On the, oh, you mean the what? And if that case, I'd be starring every one of them. I actually had to go up to, I don't have time to go and search through a bunch of images to find YouTube safe ones. You'd be amazed how difficult that has gotten. I'm not even kidding. Just put in like women ass or women and butt, and usually it's a meme of a woman going butt or something like that. It's silly. And then you try to, you get more suggestive like hot or something like that. Next thing you know, it's a woman spreading cheeks and you're seeing her brown eye. I'm sorry, but that's not the eyes I want winking at me. Thank you. I'm good. Chris is up here. He says, my favorite things I've stamped on boxes of food that fed up were sea rats, as in sea rations, expired in 1965, labeled not suitable for animal consumption. And my end all favorite was rejected by Texas State Bro. Prisons. Oh, dude, that's funny. That is fucking funny. The kicker is those same combat rations there. It's not actually combat rations. There was A, B, C, and D. But anyway, the sea rats, I was eating them in Iraq, and that's the ones we were eating, expired by decades. We're still eating them. But I had been warned about the whole lima beans and spam, and you get that shit out of here. Don't you open that up in here. Why? Oh my God. But here's Erica asks if anybody's having some strange dream. Yes, I have. Okay, very, very much. I haven't had any really good dreams in a long, long time. So, well, it's either strange or bad. So it's however you want to look at that. I will have a few minimal parts in my dreams where I see something very, I don't know, nice to look at, but it's only for a moment. And let's face it, once you start concentrating on something in your dream, even if you lucid dream, it pretty much disappears. Or you wake up, unfortunately. Here's Skip with, what the fuck? No gravity? Sorry, but it sounds like the crud that I went through in high school. What, no gravity? Were you that skinny? By the way, every few days, someone would predict the end of the universe. No joke. Yeah, it's like somebody holding up a sign says, the end is near. And I'm just like, what are you, about to run in front of a bus? What the hell's going on? The end is near. Chris says, I normally don't dream, so having a nightmare was unexpected. Yeah, unfortunately, I've had a couple in the past month where I wake up and I'm reaching for my rifle. It's not cool. In one case, I rolled right out of the bed onto something which hurt, by the way. It's called the floor. Anyways, Gart says, we're supposed to be getting 6 planet alignment and meteor shower tonight. Don't know which ones of those are true or not. Yeah, that was I believe that was this morning. You're supposed to be able to see like Neptune and Mars like right next to each other or something like that. I guess one of the first times like 6 or 7 was it 4 or 6 planets, something like that, are going to be visible from the ground at the same time, which is kind of weird. That usually doesn't happen. Who knows? Hey, if the planets are aligning, makes me wonder what type of djinn is going to pop out and say, name your 3 wishes. I'm going to look at him and go, motherfucker, I got mine written down. Hold on. What? Let's see. Guard also says, we apparently also have a solar eclipse. But due to all these storms, pretty much thunder putting me around the clouds all the way here, so I missed it. Yeah, the solar eclipse are not anywhere near where I'm going to be, so yeah. It is what it is on that one. Guardian said, if gravity was completely neutralized on Earth, most of us would end up in outer space or very close to it in 7 seconds. That's actually okay. Hold on. He says, especially when you consider how fast the Earth is spinning and how fast it's moving through space around the sun. He's not wrong. Now, the kicker on that is we're already moving with the planet, and inertia is going to take us with it. Okay, pure and simple. Inertia is going to just keep going. Unless you're at the point where the planet is moving, if you're on the backside of the planet compared to the rotation, that's who's going to everyone else might actually be pushed into the ground. And that's actually the way that was going to work. I'm not saying he's wrong. He's absolutely right. I'm just saying there's more factors than just that. There's the placement of the Earth, when it happens, which side you're on, compared to the rotation, where it is in the rotation, where you're sitting, where you're standing, if you're inside a building. It's absolutely crazy. Are you sitting still? Are you walking at the time? Did you just jump up for something? Because you're about to hit your head on the firmament. That's what you're going to hit. So, but yeah, Guardian, you are 100,000,000% correct. Skip here. I've always had bad dreams. I've not had a good dream in decades. Yeah. I still had to joke with an old friend of mine when we get on dreams. He goes, dude, I don't have dreams. I can't. I will never have a dream. And somebody always will say the same thing. Why not? He goes, because the last black guy had a dream they shot him. I just like, dude, seriously? You didn't just say that. That was just bad. Oh, shit. And the first time I heard it, I was literally on the floor laughing so hard I was not making noise because he said it so serious. Oh, man. It's like, was it Nielsen? Leslie, or was it Nielsen? The guy who was on Airplane. He played the whole thing straight, and that's what made it even funnier. Ooh, that's harsh. Guard says, when I play Armored Core 6, I like going for what players call it the brute force playstyle. Okay. I noticed that you were using the friggin' strike sword a lot, even if it wasn't close enough to be hit. Alan says, Erica, listen to a coma day prior to going to sleep. I actually play those from the other side of the room, trying to keep me to sleep or get me to sleep and stay there. Maybe this apple juice will help me go to sleep. Who knows? Guard says, because he kept going. Sorry, I missed that. Because the entire arsenal consists of heavy armor and heavy weaponry at the cost of obvious speed and mobility. Yes, that always comes into play. And actually, that's something I talk about in Sin Tactics. I really do. And I bring it up a lot. Now, me personally, if I hold on, let me put that on. If I'm going to be in a battle mech like this, you bet your ass I'm going to maximize the armor. Because like the man says, it's not how hard you get, or it's not how hard you hit. It's about how hard you get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. And you know what? I'd like to win at the end of the day. You know, that's just how it goes. He continues with, yeah, those lighter mix will bounce around me like there's no tomorrow. But oh boy, if one they run out of boost and they land in front of me, it's over. I got an 80 millimeter right arm cannon and two 120 millimeter howitzer on the shoulder. Woo, that's some heavy firepower. And a melee weapon. I like to call it the pile driver. Does what it says to. Smashes a sharp piece of metal right into the max chest. Or mech's chest. Yep. And usually that's what the pilot is, so kill the meat. Save the metal. For those of you who aren't familiar with that, that's actually from one of the old MechWarrior games. It's actually Deadeye Unther, if I remember correctly. That was the character name. And it's actually when you start, he's telling you how to, or he's training you how to operate. Now, most everybody had played a MechWarrior game by then, so they already knew. But it was still good to hear. Just like in war, speed is life. You go slow, you die. And he's right. Alan says, by the way, Sin, your partner agreement on YouTube February is a payment change. All right. This is what I was looking for as I was scrolling up, and I missed you before, Alan. You are absolutely right. However, if you have more than 1,000 subscribers, you don't have to worry about having so many views or X amount of shorts or anything like that. That doesn't apply. You're not wrong. It was just, I was sweating bullets because I thought, oh shit, I am screwed. They're just going to start taking shit from me. But they weren't going to. And I wondered why they were doing all this, like why they're restructuring that way. And it didn't make any sense. It just was kind of weird. So, yeah. I will say this also, guys. You're going to notice there's membership possibility now. Okay. I didn't tack on the membership stuff yet for the videos. I wanted to get this one out. However, what I have it set up as is members should be getting the videos early, as in as soon as I post them, say if I get it done, like say noon or something like that, and it's up. It should go straight to you guys if you're a member, and you don't have to wait until midnight to watch it. That's the member stuff. Unfortunately, that's the best I got. I don't have any merch, guys. I picked these up somewhere else. So, yeah. However, we got a $5 super chat from the Guardian Sage.
May the Schwartz be with you.
What a world, what a world. And he says, unlike the new stuff, it takes a licking and keeps on ticking. They don't build them like they used to. That is absolutely true. And that's for more than mechs. I'm going to tell you that much. So, yeah, kind of like the Swatch, you know, that took a licking and keep on ticking. Thank you again, Guardian. Appreciate that. I actually saw a van today that was from the early 1960s. The fucker's still on the road, and it's in pretty decent shape for its age. And I was like, damn. And that's just kind of the way it's got to go. Anyway, where was I? Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Okay, I was right around here. Thanks again, Guardian. However, that's the only membership perk that I can give you. Now, anybody who sends in super chats, super thanks, or anything like that is still going to get their shout outs at the end of the video. I actually still have a few folks on here on my list. I'm actually holding the list of you got some weeks in the tank. Let's see, Erica, you still had a week in the tank because you asked nicely last week. Skip, you still have 1 in the tank. Prozac Pancakes, you got 8 in the tank. Steve, you got 9, and Brian's got 10. I don't just reset everything, guys, when you send in and you go for extra weeks. I don't do that. I'm not an asshole. I am an asshole. I'm not that type of asshole. You know, I'm definitely not that type of asshole. You know, it is what it is. All right. Guard says, oh, I found out this too on the YouTube 7. It has been taken down again, but somebody did Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, but Hank Hill voices Obi-Wan and Barbie Hill voice. Oh, man. Those don't last very long. Somebody on YouTube hates those for some reason. Somebody likes the new Star Wars and just, and he's saying it fits way too well, especially Hank as Obi-Wan. Oy. He's probably looking over at Skywalker and going, that boy ain't right. Eric is saying, I've been having dreams about dinosaurs, like Ice Age animals returning. People that had chips put in their brains becoming soulless zombies. Tuatha De Danann being murdered. Tuatha De Danann. I'm trying to remember. And she continues, then one I had was a child about Santa and a giant Thunderbird that holds a copy of Magna Carta and U.S. Constitution being tortured. Oh, that one's symbolic. Now, as far as the dinosaurs and the Ice Age animals, okay, the closest, me personally, I've ever got to something like that, it was something that actually came true. And when I finally realized it, guys, I had one of those moments where I was like, I need booze and I need a lot of alcohol right now. Kind of like right now. And what it was when I was about in first grade, you know, because dinosaurs were a big thing. And you guys know what pareidolia is. You see faces where it's not it and where it's not at. I, no shit, saw a T-Rex outside my window. And the thing is pareidolia. I know it was pareidolia a little bit from the way the leaves were, but it was so perfectly lined up. I couldn't understand that. And I even had a dream about that. But the thing is, when I saw in pareidolia, it was just like when the girl holds the flashlight and it comes next to the window. And then in the dream, no shit, it was the roar in the circle there. I'm just like, what the fucking fucks? It took about 20 years, but it came true. And I've had some really fucked up situations where they actually came true. It's just crazy. And so, yeah, I don't discount dreams anymore. The problem is trying to decipher what's the universe saying, hey, you might want to pay attention to this. And your brain going, I would love him and I will pet him and I will call him George. You know, but it's hard to tell which one it is. All right, down here, we got Skip saying run, hide, fight was great. I still want to see it. I really do. Because they didn't skirt around with that character from what I heard. The female character who beat those boys' ass, she was actually trained by her dad to a point, which is why she knew what she had to do, which I thought was really smart because that shows, you know, parents are important. Duh. You know. Let's see. Chris saying, hey, real question. Why do so many woke tards look like Sloth from Goonies and about to scream, hey, you guys? I honestly, I've never been a fan of the Goonies. There was something about it when I was a little kid that just twisted my tits the wrong way. I don't know why. I know everybody likes it. It's a me thing. Just like I never cared for the Never-Ending Story. There was too many things in there that didn't. As soon as the horse died because it got depressed, even my friggin' 4-year-old mind is like, that doesn't make sense. And then the giant wolf jumping out. I'm like, he's going to kill this thing that's like 20 times bigger than him with a rock he picked up. Give me a fucking break, people. That is just retarded. It didn't make sense. And the problem is I understood the whole nothing thing. You want to have a kid have a fucking mental breakdown? Have somebody who actually has a sense of time watch that, and you'll watch them go into a complete and total. You'll lose your goddamn mind. It's bad. Okay, I don't know what I know what I want to say, but the words ain't coming out. But yes, to answer your question, there, Chris, you're right. They look. It makes you just wonder why they look like that. Why? Because one, they choose to. A lot of them actually choose to do that. It is absolutely crazy. Like the ones that have the tattoos up the side of the neck and across the face, and then like 500 different. It looks like they took my tackle box and my buddy's tackle box and crashed them on their face and rubbed them. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? And but now I can't get hired by anybody. I don't know why. Gee, let me think.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
I knew I saved that button for a reason. Oh, God. Just, oof. All right. Before we change the subject, let me show another video here. We just watched that one, so let's watch it again. Good shot, by the way. Now we're over here with Douglas talking BattleTech, and he says his favorite is the Marauder. Now, I can understand that one. The Marauder, especially the one with the AC5 on top, is just really, really, really good. When you're going base model versus base model, and you keep all the actual, how do I put this? Additions, I should say. Now, the thing with the Marauders, because of the sloped armor, if it's being struck from the front, because of that sloped armor, it's not meant to take as much damage, especially depending on what type of armor you got. If you got reactive armor, then you're taking maybe 10% of the hit from ballistic. If you got reflective armor, it's the same thing with energy weapons. Now, it's going to be worse if you put that the other way around. However, the Marauder is an exceptionally good dueling mech. If you're going one-on-one, you want the fucking Marauder because you're not going to be taking as much damage. The thing is carrying a pair of PPCs that are encased in so much friggin' armor. When you're playing with Mekfu, crunk, then you're just gonna crush somebody. I mean, just you're gonna land that hit on them, and they're just gonna be like, "I'm done." Actually, they're not even gonna say that because you're gonna crush the cockpit right onto them, and it's absolutely fucking crazy. Me personally, the only thing I don't like about the Marauder is the fact that the base model doesn't have enough armor for a actual staying in battle. It's great for dueling because that's what it was designed for. That being said, in actual warfare, once it turns sideways and you get it from the side, that thing gets shredded fast. That is my only critique about the Marauder, aside from the fact the armor is a little thin. They did that so they could up the weapon systems. Me personally, when I get a Marauder, I strip those PPCs and put large lasers in it. They don't hit as hard, but they got better range and they don't cause as much heat. And there's a lot less weight to them. And it's just, at least to me, it's just better to be able to stay in the fight longer. All right, Chris down here saying, adding my 2 cents is why Trump got rid of the penny. He just happened to be in when they got rid of the penny. They've been talking about that for 20 freaking years. And when it finally, the inflation came in during the previous guys, Mr. I'm going to change everything. And then Mr. I'm going to lick ice cream all day and not be around. The inflation went absolutely crazy. It's not just him. They were talking about that for a long, long time. Me personally, I don't think they should get rid of it, but whatever. Or hold on, I said the magic word, but whatever. All right. And then Douglas says the version of Marauder that he likes is the one with the Gauss rifle on top. Now that's always a good one. To keep the weight down, unfortunately, you're stuck with the light gauze. Heavy gauze, you'll be lucky to get a half a load of ammo, which means you only have like 4 shots. Now, granted, for a lot of mechs, that's all you need. But if that's all you need, just get a Hollander and call it good. I don't think they have those in the game Battletech. The Hollander was a mass-produced light mech that had only 1 weapon on it, with 1 ton of ammo, and that was the Gauss rifle because it was the only effective weapon system, and they were ambushing the clan mechs with these things by like 1 or 2 dozen, and then they'd fire 1 shot, they duck, they jump up, fire a 2nd shot, and they fucking bounced. They're gone. And because they're so fast, the heavy mechs and the assaults, no way they're going to catch up. So they would send their lights out to chase these guys down. Well, usually the lights would run into a baited ambush, or the Hollanders would turn around and go, "Oh, hey, medium, enjoy this." Ka-donk. And they're, well, yeah. And the thing is, if you take the freaking leg down or something, then you have literally an entire firing line of Hollanders emptying their entire combat load into your face. You know what? I'll do it.
You are fined 1 homo suspicion point for violation of the Man Code Morality Statute.
So anyways, yeah, Gauss rifle is a great weapon. And here's Guardian says, I never played Battletech, but I'm sure I'll enjoy the videos. I hope so. I do get a little wordy. I'm getting my feet under me. I will let you know the last video that I recorded, it has absolutely no editing on it, is actually pretty short. When you see the very short videos, you're going to see what it's going to be like if I was just doing campaign. Because there's a lot of pausing to talk about the story in those other ones. All right. Thank you, Skip, for subscribing. Erica says, frack. I just used my 5 adult real words in this chat. YouTube gave me 5 real word, gives me 5 real world usage per week. Huh. Okay. I wasn't even sure that was a thing. I try to keep things YouTube friendly, which means you're censored. So it is what it is. Guard says, Trump just went through with the last through a Biden era plan to get rid of the penny by 2028. Yeah, the problem is that was always the plan. Just remember, Agenda 2030 is actually a thing. You guys want to be horrified? I dare you to read that. I double dare you, motherfuckers. Douglas up here saying, best inner sphere medium is a hunchback with an ultra 20. If that thing hits, you are very dead. For those who don't know, the 20 is a autocannon 20. There's 4 different styles. There's the 2, the 5, the 10, and the 20. And originally, that was supposed to be the amount of points they took off. In the new Battletech game, they actually fixed it because those numbers were just bad. Okay, the amount of armor points nowadays that the AC-20 would have been a friggin' joke. It would have been a spitball launcher. Now they adjusted that. I believe it's 100 points per round. And the Ultra double taps. So if you're hit with that thing, that's 200 armor points along with the internals of the mech just gone. They're deleted. They no longer exist. Which is why you're right. When it gets close, or I should say close enough to use the 20, you are very, very, very dead. And that's one of the things that will make the hunchback very dangerous. The kicker with that is usually, at least for my experience, if you put an ultra, an ultra 20 in the hunchback, you got to strip out almost all the jump jets are gone. Most of your heat sinks are gone. You might be able to squeeze in 1 energy weapon, maybe 2. And you might even get rid of one of those so you can have more ammo. So in a very short skirmish, you're absolutely right. A hunchback ultra 20 is just god-awful devastating. I did get to play one mod. I don't even think it's up and running anymore. I'll have to check. Where you could have up to 3 different fire team, what they call lances. So that meant 12 mechs on your side, and he has 12 mechs on his side. And no joke, he had a couple of these, and oh my, I just watched my mechs get disintegrated. Oh man. The only thing that stopped it was the fact that I backed everybody up as fast as I could. By the time everything was done, I Gauss rifled his team of hunchbacks, and I didn't even have half of my team left. We came up over the hill at the same time, and we're like nose to nose. And I'm backing my guys up as fast as I can, and it was just So yeah, there are guys out there and girls who play that game exceptionally well. Okay, keeping going. As Chris here says, it's okay, Erica, you can have mine, but YouTube puts me into talking jail periodically. Yeah. And thank you, Brian, for the subscriber. And there's Joseph, as he was saying, the Blackjack Flamer setup is a great capture mech. And like I said before, it's good for cooking them. It is very good for cooking them. And of course, we talked about the Rack 2s. Guardian says, another assault that is good is the Scare Bear. Also known as the Kodiak, guys. That's what it is. And me personally, I'm not a huge fan of the Kodiak for one reason and one reason only. You need to downgrade the engine so much to actually put enough armor on that thing. In an ambush situation, that thing is fucking nasty. I mean, it is a motherfucking beast. But if you get in any type of slug match, it's going to just get tore to pieces. Absolutely tore to pieces. It's fast. It's very fast for an assault mech. It packs a lot of firepower, but it's a glass cannon as far as I'm concerned. Now, a lot of people can say that about the Blackjack too, and I'm a big fan of the Blackjack. And you know what I say? You're not wrong. You have to play it toward its strengths. So again, Douglas, you're right. It's a good mech, provided you can get it in the right situation. In certain situations, it's a bipedal coffin, just like most mechs. Erica says, from what I know, isn't the Blackjack more of a tank of a mecha? All right. First things first, no. The Blackjack does have not one, but 2 autocannons on it. Each one is, how do I put this? If you look at a Bradley fighting vehicle and you see it fire with the 25 millimeter cannon, that do, that's the way the AC2 fires. Okay, they even did that in MechWarrior Online. So could you say that's kind of like a tank? Maybe. But the fact of the matter is, 1, the Blackjack comes with jump jets, so it can actually traverse and actually jump without breaking itself. 2, it has energy weapons. And 3, you only need 1 pilot, not a crew of 4. And yes, a tank has a crew of 4. There's a driver, a gunner, a loader, and the tank commander. So that's 4 people. Blackjack only needs 1. And as far as mecha, okay, I'm going to be as concise with this as I can. Mecha is a general term. If I said vehicle, that's a general term too. A Prius is a vehicle, or an electric bike can be considered a vehicle. An Abrams tank is also a vehicle. So when you say mecha, you could be talking about the same stuff, the Armored Core, or pretty much anything from anime. That's actually where that comes from. Okay, they needed a general term, and when they used the word mech, they got chewed up because they're not supposed to. You're not wrong in the way you're saying. I'm just saying, be aware of the difference in what they call. Sorry, in definition. Now, the Blackjack, for its use, I personally wouldn't want to put it against something of a higher tonnage. Anything out of the medium range, it's going to struggle a lot. That being said, it does have its bonuses. The autocannon 2, the AC2, can really reach out and hurt somebody. Okay, and the fact that you can reach out so far, as long as you have somebody else with line of sight or a sensor lock, you can really hurt someone. It just destroy their day. They just, they're going to be wondering where the shots are coming from, and they're just going to be tore up. By the time they get within range, their armor is going to be dog shit. And that's when you unload with the energy weapons, which all combined will give you about 100 points off. Now, they're not all going to hit the same spot unless your pilot is fucking awesome, but still. So, yeah, the thing with the Blackjack is it's a medium mech. It's not complicated to build. It's not complicated to pilot. It's highly mobile. And since you can put so many out there, you have so many guns that can fire at the same time that if you call targets with a firing line of Blackjacks, and I've done this, even assault mechs don't get through. Pure and simple, they just don't. By the time they even take out one jack, you've torn assault mech apart, which one assault mech is going to cost you like a dozen Blackjacks. It's crazy. All right. Let's see. Chris saying here, 3-barrel is the Super Cobra. The Apache has the rotational 20 to 30 millimeter. Okay. Okay. Thank you for setting that up, Chris. Appreciate it. Me personally, I think the Cobra and Apache either need to be completely overhauled or replaced. They're not horrible, but they're pretty outdated. If we went against a near tier opponent, they wouldn't even be able to get close, which is kind of a shame because let's face it, they have so much going for them. But as I've seen and throughout my time in the service, we used to screw with them all the time. We literally see where they were doing their insertions and just watch them for a day. And then as they got close, we just light them up. Or better yet, they would come in for a gun run. We'd wait till they bypassed us and then we just shot them up. It's crazy. They really shouldn't be getting close. They should be doing standoff. But anyway, let's see. Erica says, now I'm seeing RC and Megatron doing the tango. I will, that's interesting, Erica. Now here's a fun part for you. RC, depending on how you spell it, there have been multiple RCs throughout the history. The original RC is spelled ARCEE. Okay. The more recent one, the motorcycle, is just RC. There's another one that says ARC. It's just, yeah, I know it should be ARC, but it's not. There's so many of them, it's crazy. And they're all female Transformers, you know, getting a little giggity goo. Stick around. And yeah, and get a little metal on metal contact there. I'm sure none of us want anything to do with that. However, I will say, if you, how do I put this? On my Transformer one, you gotta read or listen close, but there's some certain hints on that, certain adjustments that are going to be happening. And I don't mean adjustments as in they're just going to be or any of that shit. I'm just saying it's it changed, like in the feel of the skin, of the biomechanical skin they have is not janky like you see in the movies. Oh, let's see. Lena says, I watched the new Halo game and I know that everybody is complaining about how the new Space Marine, I thought that the game is still okay. Well, that's the problem, is it's just okay. The original game was kick-ass. And the thing is, I watched some of them. The way the Chief moves is just wrong. The way Johnson moves is just wrong. The way the Marines move is just fucking wrong. There's so many things that were just, I mean, you gave a pass the first time because they weren't working with the graphics that everybody else had before. Now there is no reason to do it that way. And oh shit, we got two coming in. We got a $2 from the Guardian Sage.
May the Schwartz be with you.
Where he says, need sleep. We'll watch the rest later. Peace and long life. Catch you later, dude. And oh, hold on. Let me where are you? Okay. Let me adjust that. And then we have one down here from, oh shit, I'm trying to do two things at once. Skip.
All hands to battle stations.
It says, Sin, did you hear that Elon Musk announced that they were successfully doing something similar to the cochlear implant, but for eyes? I heard a blurb. That's all I got. I have not, like I said, the past like 3 days plus, I've been helping my brother out. I haven't had time to do much of anything. I'm lucky I even got that one chapter out here for the story. I have not had a chance to sit down and watch any of these. When I do get a chance, which probably ain't going to be for a few more days, probably not until this weekend, I might be able to get caught up. Now, one of the ones I actually watched to get caught up, and once again, thank you, Skip and Guardian, appreciate it, is either Barry Step or Nexor. The only reason I don't watch Nexor very much is because he makes hour-long videos. I just don't have that kind of time. I just don't. And he goes way off in the weeds. Like he does a lot of like spirituality stuff that unfortunately, once you start looking at it, make absolutely fuck all for sense. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm done. As far as Step goes, he does a good job. Who was it over? God damn it, I can't think of it. It's the guy, he's like in a skull face or whatever, and the other character is a little puppet. I'm trying to remember what it was. They actually do some ones where they look at the weird stuff, but they try to go into the more scary, like, oh, they're trying to get a visceral reaction. I'm like, dude, you keep doing that and nobody gives a shit. Okay, there's actually a phrase for that where things are just normalized. So, yeah. All right. It's up here, Douglas says, apparently there was a major fight on the Abraham Lincoln that ended up with 7 dead. Huh. And as I said earlier, Sin, I have no bone cancer, but hold on. I'll give you a good one. But where was I? I have to talk to the orthosurgeon for a knee rebuild. Ow. Been there, done that. Got the t-shirt, didn't enjoy it. So, yes, hey, awesome on the lack of bone big C, okay? Nobody wants the big C inside them. And I'm not just talking about cancer. So, yeah. That was cheers. And yeah, good to hear you're good on that one. I'm sure everybody here is, cheering for it. And I don't know what else to say except awesome. At least you don't have to worry about that. Now, hold on, I had to put that down. As far as the knee rebuild, just listen to what they tell you, dude. It's all I can say. They'll give you the exercises you need to do. Make sure you do them and make sure you eat the stuff they tell you got to eat. I know it's going to suck, but it's going to be required. All right. Skip's down here saying, I should mention that I'm still waiting for them to get arm, leg, and spine replacements. I personally know of people who could benefit from them. Now, as far as spine replacements, I don't know if that's going to be possible. Reason being is that is, in fact, part of the, God damn it, I must have had too much apple juice here, central nervous system. The problem with the central nervous system is all that must be intact for it to work. They haven't, well, let me say, they haven't released a way of putting that back together. As far as arm and leg, you can, I hate to say it, but I've heard so many and talked to people who are in the industries or were, when I talk about people getting arms and legs actually grown back, and they're like, oh yeah, it can be done, but they'll never bring it out. Do you have any idea how many people or how much money they would lose? I'm like, yeah, I know how much money they would lose, but fuck them in the ass with a big rubber dick. I don't care. I just want people to live a better life. And yeah, it's just it really gets me when we have the technology and it's not allowed for us. Just like with the knee rebuild. In all honesty, there is a technique. It's a little bit of CRISPR and a little bit of actually a lot of frequency and a whole shit ton of nutrients pumped into your body, certain ones, and it will trick your body into rebuilding it for you. And this has been proven multiple times. It's crazy. I know you guys can't just take my word for it. But, I'm sure you guys have seen some of it yourself. All right, Lena says, define canceling gravity because every Star Trek episode I've ever seen always has ships with gravity and atmosphere. Yeah, well, they kind of had to run with fake gravity on those just because they didn't have any way to simulate lack of gravity for a long time. Is what it is. That's the special effects, man. That's all that is their lack of ability with special effects. And I don't even blame them for it because that was the time. All right, Chris says, just did the math. 7 seconds without gravity at a standard reverse of 9.8 feet per second. You'd reach 68.6 feet and move roughly 3 miles if the Earth's rotation is standard 1,040 miles per hour rotation. One factor to add to that is the drift you're already on. Again, inertia. You're not wrong. Your numbers are. I'm trying to do the numbers in my head right now, and yeah, you're not wrong at all, actually. Now, if somebody was on the far side, or I should say, downspin, so to speak, when gravity lets loose, yeah, you are going to be 3 miles up, unless you grab onto something, and even then, you better hope to God you can hold on. Unless you're inside a building, and then you're just going to squish up against the ceiling, and then you're going to go kathunk when you're done. I'd rather go kathunk from the ceiling than kathunk from 3 miles up. I don't know about you. Unless you're going to end up in the ocean, even then, that's going to hurt like hell. Lean says, my favorite mecha design is probably a mecha with a massive submachine gun in one hand and a giant knife in the other with shoulder-mounted cannons. Yeah, that's actually becoming more and more common to see as a shoulder-mounted cannons. The thing is, you either have to have a CNI, a cranial neural interface, where you're actually linked in with them, or the AI is in charge of those. Just like they had, how do I put this? The scene in one of the Iron Man movies where War Machine is doing his raid and Tony calls, and he gives the passcode, War Machine rocks, and everybody laughs, and the AI just kind of turns that gun towards him. It's like, yeah, that wasn't Rhodey that did that. That was something else. Yeah, that actually worked. And honestly, as far as the mecha, as far as submachine gun, it would really see, I'm more of a standoff distance on that. You know what they say? They ask the question, what's better, shooting the bad guy or not getting shot? And if you just said shooting the bad guy, you just failed that test. It's actually not getting shot. Which is why, like I said, when I do my tactics, I maximize as much armor as I can while keeping the weapon system, which is hard to do the lighter the mech. Still, if I'm going to take a hit I want to be able to take a hit. Okay, Skip's up here saying, joke. An alien asks a guy watching 3 guys climbing a sheer cliff and asks the guy, why are you climbing that mountain? The guy looked at the alien and says, we tried rock eating, rock fighting, and rock fucking. It didn't work for us. I've heard that one before. That Skip, you got the last one backwards. It's we tried rock eating, rock fighting, and fucking rock. As in, rock the music, and that didn't work. Or you could say fucking rock and roll. But anyways, Guards up here says, ran into one of those wokies earlier last week, never getting all pissed at me for something stupid. And I said, silence, Pidhead Jr., adults are talking. That's pretty good. And the weird thing is, a lot of times they'll either freak out more or they'll just immediately shut up because they don't know what to say, because they just expect everybody to stand there and take it. Just like they did a skit on it from a video or something. A guy was getting yelled at in the airport because he chewed out this stewardess. And some guy gets up in his face, is like, you should apologize to her, and starts poking him. It's like, you shouldn't have poked me. Well, you going to hit me? He goes, no, I'm going to detain you. Grabs him, throws him down. It's like, federal air marshal, you're under arrest. It's like, well, shit. See, Guard says, I think probably the greatest part is that entire argument that what was that some old guy heard that and started wheezing. How hard? Huh? I'm missing something here. Either I'm drunk or you are. Okay. Doug is down here. The punchy uses light engines and ferrofibrous armor for extra armor and ammo, and medium lasers. Okay. Let's see. I think he's talking about his Marauder. Anyways, Eric Douglas says Erica, appetite was a political issue. Okay, I must be missing something on here. Maybe I accidentally skipped a bit. Leon says they probably should retire 5-cent coins next. I always find pennies lying on the ground. See, that's the thing, is pennies are freaking everywhere. It's just let's see. Lena says, I only remember the motorcycle RC. Okay, different generation. That's all. Also in the IMDb comics, there are multiple RCs, and they're all spelled different, but they're still all female. The original one that you saw was in the 1984 Transformers movie, and she was in pink. She had the helmet with the Princess Leia hair style and all that other bullshit. And see, that's the fun part about all these, is a lot of people don't realize is that the actual transformation in the original cartoons is not the actual Transformer itself. Those are actually sort of like clothes. Not all of them, but if you look at Megatron, he's solid white, except for he's wearing basically Speedos and boots. He's supposed to be a barbarian. That's the way he is. That's the way he's designed. And if you actually look at every single one of them is wearing a helmet. There's actually a point in one of the comics where Starscream actually pulls his helmet off and you can actually see his head. Now, they touched on this just a little bit in the god-awful Michael Bay movies, where Sentinel Prime actually gets his helmet actually blown off right before he dies, and you actually see underneath. So, yeah. Now, the thing, when I did mine, when Slipstream, when her helmet comes off, it looks like long hair. And he's like, oh, shit. And he starts like cramming it up there. He's like, I think I fucked up. I think I fucked up. I think I fucked up. And he finally gets it back on, gets the helmet back on. She's none the wiser because she's like drunk on pink Energon. Because every different color of Energon has a different reaction to Transformers. It's just the way it is. Okay. Here I am. I'm falling down the rabbit hole. Oh, of course it doesn't work now. I'm falling down the rabbit hole. Okay. Let's see. Douglas says the officials are not talking much, but BAS on my information it was a political issue. The officials are not talking much, but I'm missing something. All right, Lena says Ghost in the Shell anime moves really fast with the timeline. I missed it last time. But episode 5 had Puma sisters from the Dominion Police. You know what? It's been so long. Right over my head, guys. It's probably been 15 to 20 years at least since I've seen any of the anime ones. Let's see. Guard says one of the few things they got right with the new Halo remake, which I doubt is much, was just how terrifying the flood is, because they made that intro cutscene of it absolutely terrifying. I don't know, maybe because the flood reminds them of all their woke friends. I don't know, maybe that's why. It's probably why they did it justice. Let's see. Guard with especially the fact that Chief's hand is actually shaking before he goes and reaches for the assault rifle, while not really reaching, more like yanking it off the ground and shouldering it. Honestly, that part, I do remember that, and a lot of people got pissed because Chief is so focused on everything, he doesn't actually shake. It's actually in the books. A lot of people think the games are canon, the books are not. I say the books are more canon than the freaking games. because that's what it is. The chief he doesn't shake. That part of his brain doesn't operate anymore. He doesn't actually, he's been in so many bad situations. He doesn't really feel, he gets adrenaline, but it's like that god awful movie said, fear is a choice. Danger is real, but fear is a choice. So yeah. Lean is still talking Ghost in the Shell. It says, and Major switched your hair color from blue to brown. The year episode 6 is 2030. Shocker. Yeah, they thought we'd have spider tanks by then. Yeah. Maybe in a DARPA research facility. Alan says, the rich get the good meds while the rest of the older styles of treatment. Yeah. That yes, 100 million fucking % true. Absolutely true. Unfortunately, they're given the not so good meds to the folks in Hollywood. And just so you guys know, Hollywood is dying and has been dying for a long time. We just didn't even realize it. Back in the, I think it was like the mid to late 80s, they started filming what they said was New York City in like Toronto or something like that, or British Columbia, and passing it off. And because of that, not everything was filled in California anymore. It started branching out. And now I've noticed, and the guy who brought this up, he said, you watch when all the actors have an accent, a particular accent, that's where Hollywood actually is. And the Hollywood in California is just going to box up and leave. Well, you look at the guy who plays Thor, the guy who plays Spider-Man, you know, they have, I think it's like British or Australian or something accents and stuff like that. The guy who played House, he's British, you know, all that shit. It's getting a bit much. And he's right. It's yeah. As far as the good meds, yeah, I need to make sure that this is a grand prize Powerball winner, and then I'll finally be able to fix this fucking meat suit of mine. It's all fucked up. Guards over here saying everyone in Australia is getting sent to the moon. Really? They're going to bang, zoom right to the moon. He says, if you get the joke, then that's, with that, then congratulations. I think I'm missing something as far as what you're talking about. All right, Lenin says, eventually every mecha has some kind of oversized gun and in its hands, unless you want to equip it with knives or energy-based weapons. Yeah. I mean, even Gundam. They ended up having, what was it? Not only, no, wait. In Gundam Wing, they did multiple times, either huge weapons or huge blades or something like that. But the thing is, even energy blades, I believe it's Epion, something like that. They actually hooked the blade up to the reactor inside the actual Gundam, so he could extend the entire blade enough where he sliced entire space stations in half in one swipe. It's a dueling machine. So yeah. That being said, you're not wrong. And in Gundam X, they even had to take the big guns and put them as shoulder-mounted cannons because it was too big and too strong for them to actually put in the arms. And the only thing they did right in Gundam Wing is when they fired the dual cannons, there was so much backblast that it ripped the fucking Gundam apart. And as you can tell, I'm not a big fan of most Gundams. They've done it right, as far as I can see, twice. Gundam X and 8th MS Team is the two ones where they kind of did it right. Those worked. Now let's see. Gart says they touched on a couple times actually in Bay movies. Yeah, they did. He also says obviously you have when Sentinel got his shit rocked by Megatron, where Megatron stock bashed off his helmet with a shotgun. / fusion cannon. Yeah, why they swapped him down to a shock? That freaking, I mean, seriously, out of all the people you nerf Megatron. What the fuck, over? He says, then you have Age of Extinction, where twice Hound took off his helmet. Once was to honor the Autobots. They were watching it killed by the cemetery. Wind, and the second time he used it as a projectile. Yep. Actually, one of the few good scenes in the movie where Hound is just like wailing everybody up. I mean, it was just fun to watch him fuck everybody up. And even though I'm not a huge fan of John Goodman, when he hits his mark, he hits it perfectly. Holy fuck bubbles. Does he do a good job when he hits it perfect? I mean, just like in the movie The Gambler, he has one scene. It makes it almost worth the price of admission. That movie is dog shit, by the way. However, or I should say, but that one single scene where he's talking about the level of fuck you, how the whole world is based off fuck you. Hell, the United States of America is based off fuck you. You have a king, you have an army, biggest navy the world's ever seen. Fuck you, blow me. We'll fuck this place up ourselves, which we have done a fucking great job of. But yeah, he did a great job in voicing that over. And the only other one that, I mean, just the voiceover does such a great job is the original Optimus Prime. He does such a good job, you can't help but enjoy it. And before I go anywhere else, we got a $10 super chat from the SS Demon. Thank you very much. And he says, hey, everybody, been a rough week. Yes, it has. Can't wait for Friday so I can actually relax. My grandmother died on Saturday. Work's been hell, and I can't win matches and games this week. At least I still have Sin and his stories. I will try to get more out. And Douglas said it the best. Condolences. That's a hard one to deal with, Demon. We've been there. Many of us have been there. And yeah. There's nothing else to say. So thank you, Demon. Very much appreciated. And take care of yourself on that, because that's a rough time. Yeah, I lost mine when I was in basic training, and they almost sent me back. Long story short, nobody sent the Red Cross message until after the funeral, which I still am pissed off about. All right. Yeah. Anyway, let me scroll back up here. Yeah, like I was saying before, the voiceover of the original Optimus Prime, especially when he goes, "You'll never stop at one. I'll take you all on." And I'm sorry, everybody in the theater, including myself, we jumped to our fucking feet. And you think people were going crazy during that whole Minecraft thing? You got nothing on a bunch of 30 and 40-year-olds jumping up and be like, "Fuck yeah, kill those motherfuckers." I mean, to the point where you would think somebody's about to shoot the screen. I mean, it was just crazy. He continues with, and oh boy, he's got one hell of a right arm, because he threw that thing so damn hard it decapitated one of those drones. I did notice that. Then Galvatron. Remember, they switched it out, and suddenly they retconned that. Sent him after, and Bumblebee. Yes, it did. I don't know if it officially I'd have to look and see if it actually decapitated him or it just like smashed his face in. I know that fucker fell back. See. Douglas says, I was talking about the fight on the Abraham Lincoln carrier with 7 dead. I don't have any full information on that, so I'm not going to comment. If I don't have the information, I can't say anything. Lena said, I remember a mecha that was based on the Vampire Hunter design. It carries a massive coffin in one hand. Huh? The coffin hiding a portable artillery cannon. Dude, it's a freaking giant robot. Why is it hiding anything? Weird. Erica's saying she's got to go like make food, and of course everybody's saying condolences and everything like that. All right, we need to take a small break here, and I'm going to be looking for something. Where the fuck was I? Did I do this one? Okay, that got me. I'll admit it. That got me. I knew something bad was going to happen. I didn't know it was going to be like that. So anyways, guards up here. Also, just going to point out with War Thunder. Hold on. Send a magic word. But what the hell was even the point of the M319 shot? It was supposed to be a hyper shot round, but it literally does jack and shit for literally anything. I don't know, man. That's a good question. I'm not a big War Thunder player, so I can't even say that. He continues, it can't even penetrate a tank correctly, and that was the goddamn point, was to punch through the heavy armor and damage a specific part. That's, I don't know. Sounds like somebody didn't code it right. Lena says, I probably only remember that coffin with the artillery gun from the Vampire Hunter mecha design. Interesting. All right, we're already scrolling down quick. Let's see. We went on the pop. Let's see if we can. You know what? If you're going to drive around in an early Paladin like that, what you need to do is line up like four guys, 2 up front, 2 in the rear, crank that sucker up, have somebody out there spotting for you, and then just start doing a, fire mission. Tiger in the open at grid. One shot, fire, splash over, splash out. Raise 250, right 300, fire, drop 50, fire for effect, and then have everybody 3 shots real quick. And yeah, just watch the other team just freak the fuck out because they're like, how come our guys are dying like from way the fuck away? So it's that's just the way indirect work. Now, the last time I ever did that, any of that in a game, was actually playing Halo, so it's a little different. I used to do it for real all the time, which was interesting, especially when some goofball decided to go out to the actual range, the impact zone, and drop a 5-gallon can of gasoline inside one of the busted up tanks. I'm like, thank you, asshole. We're using live ammo, and now there's a giant fireball. Granted, it's fun to watch, but unfortunately, if you're not watching, now you're freaking out thinking, what the hell's going on? Lena says, I think I'm probably interested in watching the 9th Jedi anime. You got me on that one. But I also want to finish watching season 2 of the Heretical Last Boss Queen. She's a boss queen, bitch. Anyways, I don't know. You got me. The only one that I want to see, and I'm waiting for this one scene, and everybody keeps sending me a message. It's there. Doing the reborn in an Otome game, and it's actually from the manga itself, because I did read the manga up to a certain point, and then I just stopped reading the stuff. I mean, I stopped reading all of them, period. And how it comes out is the guy's isekai'd into the Otome game. He's actually beat the game multiple times, but he doesn't know his sister ended up having something happen to her, and she died in the real world too, and she got reborn in the game, and she wants to be the main character. She's got a bad case of main character syndrome because she's a bitch. She's always been a bitch. She's always going to be a bitch. And when they end up talking to each other, actually legitimately talking to each other and using phrases like NPCs and stuff like that, then they realize that they were the original brother and sister. She goes to actually hug him, but the reason he died is because she wanted him to beat that game. So he went like 4 days without eating or sleeping, and that's what killed him. He's so pissed that when she goes to hug him, he clocks her and knocks her flat on her back. And I'm just like, please let that be in there. And maybe tomorrow I'll have a chance to go see it. I'm like, I want to see that. Please show that he friggin' knocks her down, please. And let's see. Gart says, that's the funny part. That wasn't a Paladin. That was a Hyro prototype, which is what the Paladin was based off. That's why I was calling it that. He says it's an end tank destroyer that Japan was working on, and I stress when I say working on because it was a wooden mock-up. Yeah, I remember reading about that. And a half-completed blueprint because the rest of it had been burned. Yep. Then they didn't have any metal, really. I mean, come on. Our rifles were shooting through their original tanks. I mean, it was bad. It was sheet metal. And it's just it's bad. It's just So anyways, on that note, let me see what's next. Here we go. Looks like lasers.
Right shoulder activation, left shoulder activation at 50%. At 30%.
Push back, tourist. Systems down. The generator's going to explode.
All right, I got to mark down here another $10 super chat from Skip.
All hands to battle stations.
As he says, Sin, can you explain why they, as in BoobTube, is pushing shorts when they're complaining about AIs? That's almost all the shorts. All right, that's actually fairly easy. The fact of the matter is YouTube shorts do a lot more marketing than long form videos. Pure and simple. You will find entire channels dedicated to trying to sell you shit. And that's all they are. And the fact that a lot of AI shorts are trying to sell stuff, and the fact that if you buy from them, they have to say, okay, YouTube gets a cut. You see where the money is actually coming around and coming back to them. All right. Now, as far as being paid for your videos, when it comes to shorts, God damn, you guys have heard me complain about the pay when it comes to long form videos. It is absolutely nothing compared to, or I should say the shorts is nothing compared to long form video. And long form video, unless you're like the Fat Electrician or Tim Pool or something like that, you can't make a living off of it. Was it Zach something or other? He does videos 6 days a week, and he can make a living off of it. But you know, he does other stuff. How do I put this? He does a lot of commentary of more, I don't know what's going on. But the thing is, I didn't want to fall into that niche. It is what it is. So the reason for the pushing shorts is all about money. They're going to pay you less for pay creators less for their work. They're going to, if it's an AI channel, they might not even pay, period. However, if you have a paid promotion, you have to set in the link, and whoever buys from clicking on your video will go back to YouTube as a percentage. It might be 1 or 2%, but it's still a percentage. You know, what's a 1% off $100 million? That's $1 million. You know, that's how the way they look at things. And that's it. That's pretty much it. And people their attention spans are so short nowadays because of shorts, no pun intended. They will end up scrolling through a shit ton of these instead of just watching a single long form video. And you will know that your attention is that bad if you're on a long form video and you have the compulsion that you want to put something else on, even for a little bit before you finish it. If that is your compulsion, then it's got you too, and you need to stay away from shorts for at least a week, at least, to try and reset your dopamine receptors just a little bit. So yeah, that's why they're pushing shorts. It is all about the money. That's also why they're trying to restructure everything when it comes to how they're going to how the monetizing works. And you need like 20 million views or something like that every single month in your shorts, if that's all you're doing is shorts videos. And if you don't make that, no matter how, you could have 19 million views. They still won't pay you because you didn't make the 20 million cut. That's what they're doing. It's a fucking ripoff. This is turning into the new, what they used to call it, the adpocalypse back in like 2014. It was just them trying to bring money in because they refused to cut costs and they refused to actually do the right thing. So anyways, that's me ranting on that one. I only do shorts for the Crazy Uncle channel, and I haven't even had time to do that. In all honesty, the Crazy Uncle channel for shorts does not take long. It's 5 minutes of me talking, maybe an hour or two of editing for that video, and post it. It's not that hard, especially when it comes to shorts. The problem is, if you're just doing shorts, you got to pump out 8, 10, 12 of those a day minimum. And if you only have one small niche you're talking about, then you're fucked. Because all you're going to do is keep saying the same thing over and over again. And you're going to be bored. You're going to get sick of it. And most people just say, fuck all this, I'm out. Anyway, down here, Lena says, last week, I have heard about a massive UFO ship flying on the moon. Yeah. I hear about that at least once a month. One flying by, one landing, one doing this. I've been so out of it the past week, Leonid, I don't have much to say. But he says, if you can't beat them, take their mom. Trapped in a dating sim, probably. You're not totally wrong. I did see, what was it, about 3 weeks ago? Somebody did a breakdown of the manga, because they don't make the manga anymore, about how many women the main character, the MC, is actually fucking and marrying. And you're not totally wrong. One manga I saw is maybe 2 years ago. I kid you not. Guy gets kicked out of a hero's party. Now, you got to remember, he's an isekai character too, supposedly. He was a middle-aged man when he got isekai'd. So his thing is he does not want to go after young girls because he keeps thinking of his daughters. Okay, that's most guys. That's what happens. When you have young girls in the house and you're related to, you want to protect them, you look at young girls and you feel icky. I mean, it's just no other way to put it. You feel like the dirty old man. You hate yourself for it. So in the world he went into, people don't live very long. Okay, they age slower, but they don't actually live as long, which means once a woman gets to about the age of like 18, 20 years old, if she's not married, that'd be like middle age, like in the 40s. However, she still looks like she's 20. So this isekai guy is, when he was young, he actually proposed to all his friends' mothers. And then when he gets kicked out of the party from his friends, he goes back and actually one was a slave, another was in a shit marriage, another one she hadn't even seen or been touched by her husband in God knows how long, and she's the one with the biggest boobs. And I'm just like, what in the ever loving fuck, Knuckles? And these girls are considered grandmother's age, but they're like what, 40, if that? And I mean if that. And I'm just like, what in the ever loving fuckle Knuckles is going on? These women are hot. So he's like, you know what? I'll marry all of you. And he does actually marry their moms, and he keeps marrying more. And I don't know whatever happened to that. I know there was like 2 or 3 more prospects after the original moms, and that's about the time I stopped reading it. I'm sure there's more by now. That was a couple years ago. But yeah, that's what that one is. Let's see. Chris says Skeleton Knight in Another World is good, but the first season is better. I'm just I saw that last season. I'm wondering if he's going to find the spring. You know, I would almost bet you dollars to donuts that he's going to find that spring that's going to turn him into human. And the girls are going to walk in thinking they're going to stick their toes in there and just, enjoy the hot spring. He's going to stand up and is all together, and his friggin' dingus is going to be hanging all the way to his knees. And they're just going to start either screaming, or they're going to, enjoy, or they're going to blast them with their magic again, because that's how they see him when he's in his skeleton form, or they're just going to pass out, which would be fucking hilarious. However, I will say the first season was good. I think I saw the first episode of the second season, and that was it. Lena says, that sounds like a meme. The old women older than 80 is a hug. A 20s is old and 30s is dead, super dead. Yeah, pretty much. I will say that. But I've known, and I'm sure most of us guys have known, that one friend who's been into MILFs since he was, even looking at girls. He has no interest in the younger ones. Probably didn't even date through high school or college either. Just waited until they were older. Everyone's got their thing. Chris saying, do you want me to spoil it? No. No. Don't spoil. We don't spoil things here. Not if we can help it. And now I'm dizzy. I need another drink. Eric is saying, what's up with the Xenos and our moon? Is it a science study? Is a science station to study us? Do reality TV with politicians being the game managers, or is it something more insidious? All right. Here's what I can piece together, and I also did a story about this, all right? Multiple sensors, when they drop shit on the moon, they find that it rings like a bell, which means somehow it's hollow. I can't verify that, just bear with me. If it is hollow, and it is possibly a constructed object that just kind of pulled a whole bunch of shit onto it over time, then something up there is either broken or works in a way we don't understand. I really don't know. However, when I did, I forget which series it was. I don't know if it was Garbage Planet or something like that. I was talking about when Earth and Venus, before the flood, were going at each other, and they were using planet versus planet weapons. And the moon, as we know it, was a weapon sent by Venus. And when they were going over, everybody on this side freaked out, said, well, this is going to end our society, but it's better than ending our entire species. And they fired a weapon at Venus, or not Venus, to Mars, and destroyed everything there. Literally flattened it to the ground. And and destroyed their environment to the point where there's not enough air. Everything just fucking died. Well, because there's no signal coming from Mars anymore. I don't know why I started saying Venus. But anyway, from Mars anymore, then, shocker, what's it doing? It's just sitting there waiting for orders. You know, that's what I put together. Now, could I be wrong? Absolutely. I don't know enough to go to talk about the moon enough on that, so we'll see how it goes. Chris is saying it doesn't go that way. No spoilers, no spoilers, no spoilers, no spoilers. We don't do spoilers in here. And I will see Brian saying good night. See you, Brian. Oh, excuse me. The apple juice and soda is coming up again. All right, Lena says, low gravity world that is convenient to land ships on. Oh, yeah, as the moon? I could see that. Maybe like a space station, perhaps, like a giant space station. Hint, hint, wink, wink. And by that, I'm going to put this on as I say hint, hint, wink, wink. All right. Draven says, good evening, sinners. Sorry so late. Was tied to a tree all day. Oh, I hope you beat the shit out of those guys for doing that to you. Alan says, me also, so take it easy, friends. Good night. And Alan's gone. Yeah, was grease involved? That's a good one. Oh, shit. Leon said, there was a fifth planet between Mars and Jupiter. Hold on. He said Venture. What? I don't know if it's true. All right. The belief there is that there was a dual planet in our star system between Mars and Jupiter, and they kept themselves on opposite sides of the sun. Something happened that either sped one up or slowed one down, and they eventually collided. And when they did, they destroyed themselves, but they stayed within the same orbit of our star, and that's what created the asteroid field or asteroid belt. That's the theory. I would say that's not that far off. Now, the thing is, if you have two planets on that same, if they don't keep the exact same speed, eventually they will collide. I mean, it's just the way it goes. So, yeah. Draven saying, nope, no grease. Sorry for the back pain. Yeah, that's fun. Lean says, I have been monitoring one of the sci-fi channels I watch, and they adapted an SCP episode for the Shy Guy. Oh, 096. Yeah, I saw that. The one they ran the A-10 up his back, and it barely slowed him down. Depleted uranium shells up his butthole, and he didn't even slow down. Yeah. Project Anchor. Yeah. I can have enough of the SCPs. They're interesting the first time around, but then it gets a little ridiculous. I mean, some of them are obviously written by children. One of the few good ones was, if you get it, is the Nerf gun, where you get people doing the voiceover for the actual like interview. That was good. I mean, they did a really good job on that. But a few of them, I'm just like, no. It just doesn't work that way. Let's see. Skip says, I was always taught that Mars was a moon to the destroyed planet. I wouldn't put it that way. It's quite possible that when the other two planets crashed into each other, it fucked Mars up. Then again, there's supposedly, that the radiation levels in certain areas on Mars showed that they actually had nuclear reactors there that detonated, not melt down, but actually detonated. because the only way that certain radiation comes out is if you detonate a nuclear device. But the thing is, it's too big. You're talking bigger than Tsar Bomba situation. So I really don't know. It's just little bits of information they're feeding us, and I don't know if they're treating us like a mushroom by feeding us shit. Eric says, hello, Driven. Tied to a tree with no grease. Sounds like a story. A story for another time, I'm sure. Chris says, Apophis is due in 2029. Then again, 7 years later, if it doesn't hit us this time. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck is going on with that one. It didn't exactly graze us last time, but it did get close. Now, the kicker is, if it passes us, but it doesn't hit us, and it gets close enough for our gravity well, it's a good chance that it's going to get altered. And that's all you have to do is alter it just a half a degree. I mean, hell, not even that, a 100th of a degree. And you're talking about from a near miss to a, is it ever coming back situation. Lena says, there was a war between Mars and the fifth planet, but then someone decided that they should destroy the fifth planet. Why not? All right. Since we're back down here, one last video. Yeah, I'd say enemy using silent. The cockpit exploded. I'm going to be quiet too if somebody detonates a reactor underneath my taint. All right, Lena says, I don't know. Maybe people could still find old debris from ancient spaceships. I don't know. Yeah, that's the problem, is we're not allowed to know anything. It is one of the most infuriating things ever, is when somebody knows the truth but refuses to actually put it out there. Why? Because it doesn't match what they want you to believe. And it's just tell us the fucking truth and we'll deal with it. Chris says, this time it will pass 10 or 12,000 miles from the Earth where the satellite. Yeah, that's actually pretty close. In astronomical terms, that is pretty fucking close, actually. Then was I'm trying to remember, lunar orbit is what, 34? God damn, I can't even think of it right now. But yeah, that's pretty goddamn close. Guard says, there's one kind that feels like it's something that you would see in an SCP interview. It's called SCP Wonders of the World. And the first episode is that whale in whale in the orbit. Huh? I'll write it down and we'll see what's going on that one. SCP Wonders. Okay. If I remember, I'll look it up. I got it written down. Let's see. Lena says, I always assumed that the information was full of misinformation. Well, you know what the man says. You know, if you don't watch the news, you're uninformed. If you watch the news, you're misinformed. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, yeah, right. It's called SCP-2146. Okay, let me. I'll look it up eventually. Chris says, Swan R2 has been crashing to Earth after getting beat up by 3i Atlas. Really? You know, when 3i Atlas went by, I always wondered what would happen to its tail. Come to find out, it didn't have one, which is amazing. They always have a fucking tail. So, it is what it is. Lena says there's an ancient warship on Jupiter that's SCP monitors. Yep, I heard about that, and that is missing like its communication device, and it's slowly getting together. And everybody worries that once it's fixed enough, it's going to come down here to Earth. Skip saying, FY, the moon is 226,000 miles from Earth. Okay. Yeah, see, I totally whiffed that. My remembering portion of my brain is shot to hell. All right, let me check the media here. I think that's all I got. Yeah, that's all I got as far as new stuff. All right. I'm going to let you guys give a few minutes, get a few more comments in here. Chris says, they weren't human. 3i is currently heading to Jupiter. Really? I thought it was, fucking off somewhere else. Guard saying, yeah, it's actually tied to SCP-001 when day breaks. When they started SCPs, they were okay. They went over the top with several of them. Demon says, I got a short break and now just want to say thank you to everybody again. Hey, thanks for being here, Demon. Everybody was looking forward to seeing you. And, we'll see you when we see you. I mean, it's just the way it is. Let's see. Lean says, some people say 3i Atlas never left. I know nothing about that. I'm at a complete and total loss. Guards here says, because in the SCP universe, the sun isn't actually a star. It's a sentient creature, and that station on Jupiter was built to put the sun down if it turned on life. Okay, now, this I haven't heard about the SCP. I heard about the sentient female-looking thing that keeps calling the sun her brother and will actually point towards anything that's endangering the planet. But she only speaks in French or something like that. And, I mean, she's naked all the time, so I'm going to assume she's French. But that's the only one I know. I never heard about the sun waking up. I mean, there's the YouTube thing about the moon waking up, which is really, really goofy. I mean, seriously, it makes me wonder how many hard drugs those guys were on when they wrote it. Let's see. Chris says, that thing near Mars is gone now. Okay. He also says, same as Swan R2. Guards up here says, and that is exactly what it did because, what do you do now? The sun gained sentience again and decided, hey, how funny would it be if I decided that all life should be one being? Ugh. Erica up here saying, I'm going to take a stiff chamomile tea with honey. Ooh, that actually sounds good. And Demons up here, been playing the new Mistfall Hunters, and it's really fun. This is one I haven't heard of. Hard, but fun. Cool. Guard Spear, and then proceeded. Oh, yeah. Everybody should be one thing and proceeded to, I kid you not, within the span of 5 minutes, turn a half of all life on Earth into melted flesh, like it was literally estimated that within hours, 80% of life on Earth was flesh. That's beyond creepy. That's literally the Flood and the movie Slither pushed together. And yeah, Eric is saying, hope it calms down my dreams. Not if you're listening to this SCP stuff. It ain't going to calm down your dreams, that's sure. Lena says, I have heard about the crazy cold weather laser system that was part of SCP. You don't have to, that's not an SCP, that's the HARP system. Controls the weather. There's also some shit in Antarctica that they really don't want people to know. Demon says, I play the support class, but it's really hard to survive when playing solo. But Trying to level it up for when I play with my team. Okay. See, I don't know what Mistfall Hunters is. Is that a sci-fi? Is that a fantasy? I don't know. I don't know what game that is. I'm at a complete and total loss. Says Lena says, and Soviet Dead Hand System that is also an SCP. Okay. Guards up here and actually saying if you want a guy is really good at making SCP content, look up SCP Illustrated. He draws and narrates all his content. Now, here's the fun thing. One of the SCPs, what is it? The walking tower there, the Siren Head. I actually put that in one of my more fantastical ones, stories, where it's actually mixed in with two. It's actually the cross between two different stories. One of which is my date is a real monster. And then if you go up, my date, my girlfriend, my fiance, my wife, it just keeps going up. It's a crossover between two different ones. And they actually fight the Siren Heads. And there's only certain ways you can kill the fucking things. And none of them are easy. All right, Deathbed Question says, yeah, no spoilers at all. Was lucky enough to see The Prestige in theaters. Yep, I remember seeing that. Lucky enough to not see any trailers of it and was very pleasantly surprised. The only movie I have ever gone in and I was completely cold on it. I'd never seen even a preview because I just got back from overseas was the movie Ted. I knew absolutely fuck all about that. And I walked within 5 minutes. Now, my dad has like no sense of humor at all. Me, I have a dark and twisted sense of humor. He's got no sense. We're both dying laughing, just rolling. I've never seen that man laugh so hard in my life. So it's always good to go into these movies cold. Unfortunately, a lot of movies, they tend to show way, way too much in the previews. And unfortunately, sometimes you see a joke that's just exceptionally good. When you know it's a comedy, you're like, wait a minute, is that the best joke they have in the entire thing? Yep. Okay, the whole thing's a letdown. Chris says, the biggest issue right now is the 80 gigajoule shortage of power in U.S. by winter. Yeah. And when that happens, you're going to see people storming those data centers and just taking them offline. It's actually not as hard as people think if you know what you're doing. And yeah. Prowl and hover will fail us soon. Huh? I'm missing something on that. Demon says, Mistfall is a fantasy. Okay, here we go. Mistfall is a fantasy extraction game. So like Fortnite. Hold on. But with knights and wizards, no guns, and monsters roaming around the map. Okay. So basically an isekai setting with as a fantasy extraction. Okay. Gotcha. Lean says, during the holidays, SCP would write about Santa Claus. Yes. Yeah, and Krampus, of course, which I think is just kind of messed up. Erica's saying how she loves The Prestige. That was a good movie. It was really twisted at the end, but I will, or by the end, but it's a good movie. I mean, the actors did an exceptional job. I'll freely admit that they did an exceptional job. Demon says it takes place after Ragnarok. Oh, post-apocalyptic. I see. Yep. Erica asks, will you be doing spooky stuff for October? For October specifically, I might end up bringing back The Files. I actually got a couple like swarming around in my head, only like one or two. And before I say the word, but we'll see how that goes. It gets a little cliche around that time of year. Everybody's looking to scare you, and then you're just bored. And the thing is, it's something about me and horror movies. This is me in a horror movie. Somebody has to wake me up at the end because I am completely and totally out cold. I'm actually the guy who I'll get in a weird position and I'll actually start snoring. They're like, dude, man, this is amazing. How can you not watch this? I fell asleep during Saw. I mean, seriously. Well, not the first one. The first one was good. After that, I was just like, dude, don't fall asleep. You're all right home. Just wake me up when it's over. I was out. Let's see. Chris says, water and power are the new war front of the elites. Yes, they are. The data centers are not what they seem. No, they're fusion centers. They're meant specifically to compile information on everybody so they can figure out who they need to go after. And they say your past will dictate your future. I say bullshit, because I know people who are nothing like they were in their past. They are completely 100% different people. And these are guys who are older than me. I knew them as a kid when they were in their 20s. I knew them again when they were in their 30s, and they were very different at that point. Now, compared to their 20-year-old self, they are absolutely different. I mean, 100%. And we've all known people like that. Lena says SCP-4255. You would think there'd be more than 4 digits on these. All right. Demon says, I'll send you some clips from the game if they don't get corrupted again. Yeah. Hopefully my losing streaks ends so I can send you a clip that's not me getting my ass. Oh, hold on. Getting my ass kicked. See, Erica says, data centers.
It's a trap.
And tracking centers. Yes, they are. I fully believe that. As soon as I saw, I was like, data centers, what do they need data centers for? I can do this AI shit from my phone. So unless when these data centers go up, you can suddenly go from a 6-second AI clip to a 60-minute AI clip, then there's actually it's not AI data centers at all. Okay, it's not. It is no. And it was pretty obvious what they were about. Okay, Leon says, data centers are probably already being delayed because people don't want to build them. Well, there's that. And the fact that people are afraid to build them now because of what's not making the news is a few of these guys are showing up and their gear is destroyed. I mean, it's not even salvageable. We're not talking about somebody going in and cutting a couple belts. We're talking about people going in and burning shit. We're talking about people going in and just destroying tens of thousands of dollars of equipment and property. And they can't do shit with it. They got to wait for something else to come in. Then they put up a security, and next thing you know, your security dog is shot. And you're like, okay, or poisoned or something like that. And they're like, now what do we do? You know, it's messed up. Let's see. Chris says Hoover Dam and Glen Canyon Dam, the water levels are too low. Yeah, they are. The Hoover Dam, Lake Mead has been low for years. Actually, I was there with my buddy. He used to live over. Well, my dad's buddy. He used to live over there, and they, well, they had a bit of a falling out. However, what came down, we went to Lake Mead. And they showed the original height of the water, and we're walking down vertically another like 30 feet, and we're before we even get close to the water, we're like, this ain't right. Lena says electric systems can't support data centers. Nope. That's why Trump told them, hey, you want electricity? Build your own power plant. And you know what they said? That's too expensive. Well, then don't build either of them. Fuck off. Demon says, I play support. He's talking about his Mist game there. I play support, I heal, give shields, and summon a magical sentry turret. Not meant to run solo, but I do anyway. Ha ha ha. And I mentioned the files, and of course, Draven and Deathbed. You guys jumped in. I knew you would. I knew you fucking would. You guys always give me shit that I haven't done the files in a long time. And honestly, at one point, I had time to just blow through stuff, and I just don't right now. It's bad enough tomorrow is going to be completely used up. I got to bring my dad over to do all this stuff like at Costco and go get fuel and all this other shit that's going to take up most of the morning, if not all of it. And then the afternoon, I got to can tomatoes. And that's, if you've canned tomatoes, you know that is not a quick process. That is a long process. So, yeah. Let's see. Demon says 3 melee classes, 2 ranged, and hybrid. The support is a hybrid class, but I suck with the OT. Ah, shit. Oh, yeah. The other part of the class. Yep. You got to play to your strengths on that one. Chris says there's also a new emergency alert system that is designated to track people, not save. Yeah. Actually, the Wi-Fi system in your house is designed for that too. It's really fucked up. Just like the scanners they have at the TSA. I know for a fact how good those things are. I have seen actual readouts of what they can see, not only individual hairs on your body, they can see pores in your skin. That is how good they are. The thing is, the same guy who was telling me about this says don't go anywhere near them because Zeta radiation fucks with your friggin' cells in a way that gives you fucking cancer. So yeah, no, I'm done. Let's see. Chris says it goes over the phone and asks questions. Yeah, track people that way. Lena says, I think I have an Easter egg in the new Halo game, right at the end of the campaign. Says, do you remember the abandoned solar plant in the desert in California? They don't want to shut it down. Yeah, even though it sucks. It was never designed right. Most of those were never designed right. And the fact of the matter is they're not able to be designed right because of national laws. Because if they could design them right, the damn things would be so fucking efficient. It's crazy. The fuck? Yeah. All right. Let's see. Chris says the data centers release a low-level pulse, which causes stillborns and, more importantly, drives off bees. One would say one's more important than the other. However, yeah, you don't want either of those. And as a guy who used to have his own apiary, I can tell you, you don't want shit to drive off the bees. That's bad. That's very, very, very bad. Okay, it's bad enough my peppers are doing shitty this year because we haven't had a lot of bees, and the fact that it got cold this spring. Let's see. Lena says the solar plant is straight out of Fallout games. Yeah, might as well be. Ugh. See, Erica says water levels being low and insane weather could be a result of someone/something who was pissed off at all the dark rituals going on. It's a possibility. It is a possibility. Demon's still talking about his Misty game here. By the way, it's interesting how many of these games are set up more or less the same, where you need your tank up front and your support way in the back, and then you have your mid-tier guys somewhere in. So let's see. Demon says range classes are a wizard or an archer. The close classes are assassin, mercenary, and knight. The game is fun, but assassin and archer are kind of OP in solo, and wizard and knight are strong in teams and in support, which is called a which is called a seer. With the right player is essential to a team. I like it, but I'm not good with it yet. Okay. Draven up here saying, quick question, sinners. Does anyone listen to AI stories on YouTube find it weird that the names of the characters seem to be yours, or is it just me? At least for me, if I stumble across them, what I end up is like 4 in a row with the same exact names. The same thing with those AI shorts. It's the same exact name. I don't actually find it having my first name, mainly because I don't put my first name on much. They would have to dig a lot to do that. So for some people, it's real easy. I'm just talking the AI doesn't know how to do it. Oh, see, Guards up here saying, if one thing that I can point out and laugh at the Europe right now that isn't something political is that we proved them right. That, hey, you needed air conditioning, dumbasses. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. And he says, especially proved in that with the FIFA stuff, all the Europeans dying in the boiling hot heat. Excuse me. Only to go into a building and hit with 70 or 60 degree AC units. Yeah, I've seen plenty of those videos. They go in and the first thing you see is, and we're like, no shit. Guards, well, one of the biggest reasons why it's only at 4 digits, talking SCP, is because the community managers have to check everything to make sure that this can be a valid SCP. So they reject probably millions. Say a couple thousand more. Yeah. I'm sure I could build one. It wouldn't be hard. Demon says, well, I got to go again. Bye, everybody. See ya. All right. See you later, Demon. Guard continues, well, yeah, especially with delays in building those data centers. One of my friends who became an electrician got a job with like 30 other guys, and they were all gung-ho about it. You know, look, it pays so much. It must be something important. Then they found out that it's a data center, and all of them couldn't contract. Wait a minute. And all of them couldn't contract and said, suck my ass. Oh, okay. So that I see that. The thing is, what people are missing is when you're a construction guy like that, you get a contract that says, I will be paid this much. And if something that I cannot control happens and it goes over budget, I can charge you more. Now, this is honestly, I don't believe in that. I say, look, I paid you for a job for this amount of time. You get done with this much. If you can't do it, I'm going to sue your ass. It's under contract. You must finish. And if it takes a bite out of your ass, oh, well. So, and I was in the union. I saw this happen a lot. So, yeah. But yeah, a lot of these guys were being told, hey, go out there and stuff like this. And then they end up not making nearly enough money because the work is actually far beyond what they're supposed to do. See, Lena says, you need a tank, DPS, and a healer class. Those classes sometimes have mages with 40mm missiles. Oh, fun. He also says, I've heard that air condition is expensive in Europe from 900 to 10,000 euros. Not for a small one. You can buy something this fucking big for your house for maybe $100. So, the thing is that over there, what they realize that there is a market, so people are marking up the price. Pure and simple. All right, guys, we've been going for just under 3 hours. My legs are actually going numb from being in this chair, and I think my ass fell asleep about an hour ago. And I keep coughing. So I'm going to call it for tonight. I do appreciate everybody sending in their super chats. We had Skip, Erica, I Can Fix Her, Guard, Douglas, Guardian, Demon. You guys all sent stuff in. Very, very much appreciated. And, we still had guys who sent in the higher amounts. So they had some weeks in the tank, and they're going to be getting theirs. So just a reminder, guys, if you haven't already, I would appreciate if you would go over to Syntactics. I'm going to repost to the first video in the chat, just in case you guys didn't get it. It is the other channel that I said I would start. When I said I'm going to do something, it may take me a minute, but I'm going to actually do it. So if you guys can give that one a quick once over, let me know. Give me the straight down and dirty in the comment section over there, and I will be reading it. I do look at it every day. Unfortunately, there's no comments at all yet. So, yeah. When you're over there, you're going to see how war is fantastic. And while I do the brief, you know what? I'm going to put this Android chick back up here so you guys can enjoy that one. So you guys know, if you drink, you don't drive. If you drive, you don't drink. If your buddy wants to drink and drive, beat his ass, because it's a whole lot easier to explain to the cop why you just broke your buddy's nose than it is to explain to anybody why he just broke himself or someone else because he was driving drunk. Not cool. All right. Also, if your little soldier is going in the bush, make sure he wears his poncho. It gets wet in the bush if you know what you're doing. And just remember, if you're unsure if it is unsafe to traverse, even with your protective gear on, it's better off just to walk away, guys. Just make an excuse and go away. Same thing for the ladies. Aside from that, be careful on the roads, everybody. This is not mating season for anything yet. It's dog days of summer, so it's going to be better off when it comes to the critters. However, because it's summer, a lot of people are going to be traveling. A lot of people are going to be doing something stupid. So, again, be careful out there. Yeah, exactly, Erica. Don't dip crazy. I've never seen it put that way, but you're absolutely right. All right, on that note, everybody take care, and I will see you guys right here next week. Same Syntax time, same Syntax channel. And this is your host, Punch It.